Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Carshénah with versefilmsproductions, and you made it back to our horror pick of the week, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Verse Films Productions' annual Screamtober here on our horror channel. I'm your host, Carshénah, and I've got 31 days to get you in the mood for Halloween. Join me as I share a video a day with a new theme each week that you will find scary, haunting, and sometimes just plain fun. Let's get into it. Week 4 is Horror on the Seas week. Death ships, flesh-eating animals in the water, pirates mixed with a little H.P. Lovecraft keeps you afloat this week. Underwater 2020, now streaming on Hulu, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 1 hour and 35 minutes. Underwater was shot in early 2017 for $50 million and then set on a shelf for over 2 years. Written by Brian Duffield and Adam Kozad and directed by William Eubank, Underwater walks a very fine line between rip-off and homage. The most obvious touchstones, both narratively and aesthetically, are Alien in 1979 and The Abyss, 1989. In short, the setup is your classic group of isolated people getting picked off one by one. Kicking into high gear immediately, the film wastes no time whatsoever in getting to the action. The opening scene is the Kepler implosion, and it's a good 5 minutes before things calm down. Alien takes his time getting anywhere, introducing us to the aesthetic of the Nostromo, then the characters and the relationships and milieu before it all kicks off. In essence, Underwater is the inverse of that, with all hell breaking loose before we know much of anything about anyone. Indeed, the only character we even see, let alone get to know, before the implosion is Nora. Underwater is a science fiction horror film that delivers a claustrophobia thriller with a good cast ensemble and performances, edgy music score, and a direction that feels like this film is trying to bring back a 1980s sci-fi thriller like Alien movies, The Thing, or The Abyss, minus the creatures in this movie. I will say the film packs a punch with putting you into the action. Survivors Nora, played by Kristen Stewart, Paul, played by TJ Miller, Lucien, played by Vincent Cassel, Emily, played by Jessica Henwick, Rodrigo, played by Mahmoudou Afi, and Liam, played by John Gallagher Jr., are trying to make a way to the other station to find the evacuation pods. While the earthquake that shook the facility was not an ordinary quake, the drilling station has awakened something on the ocean's surface with creatures that are trying to hunt the remaining survivors. Aesthetically, there's a lot to like. Designer Naaman Marshall does a fine job with the world feeling lived in and authentic, making especially good use of tunnels and low ceilings. There's a real sense of claustrophobia, which only lets up, ironically enough, when the characters are outside the safety of the rig and exposed to multiple dangers. This claustrophobia is aided immensely by Bojan Bazeli's cinematography. During scenes outside, Bazeli often shoots from within the characters' helmets, and even when the characters are inside, he often shoots in tight close-ups, simultaneously anchoring us to their perspectives and heightening the sense of enclosure and pressure, both literal and figuratively. When outside, the film uses the limited visibility to its advantage in establishing a tone of ominous danger. Some will probably find these scenes too dark, but I'd argue that this is precisely the point. The characters can't see much of anything, and neither can we. Elsewhere, obviously inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, particularly Cthulhu, Abner Marin's creature design is suitably creepy and grotesque. Wayne Limmer's sound design are accompanied with some bone-rattling low-frequency effects, or LFE for short, while the ominous ambient sounds of the Kepler are a constant reminder that the station is on its last legs. The scenes outside are equally as impressive, with some excellent use of directional sound as the action shifts location on screen. In terms of problems, there's a rather unjustified use of voiceover to bookend things, explaining the moral of the story. It's wholly unnecessary and has the effect of making the film like an episode of The Outer Limits. There's also next to no characterization. We learn bits and pieces about Nora and Lucien's backstories, but apart from that, the film is peopled by perfunctory cardboard cutouts with no sense of interior. Eubank also seems somewhat confused as to whether he's making a disaster movie or a monster movie, with certain scenes and elements suggesting one or the other. Otherwise, it's a very well executed horror movie, and it's unique and it's riskful in these mainstream times. See you tomorrow as Screamtober with Verse Films Productions continue right here on the channel.